Hello, hello, beautiful ones. Just make sure I've got volume here. So I was thinking, what am I going to come into the group for this weekend and give you some value? Now, first of all, I would love to know how your Merkaba activation went. Have you done your Merkaba activation? Have you gone back and done it again? And what differences have you noticed in your energetic field? I really would love to know that. So today we're talking about the 5 stages of Ascension, which makes total sense because we're here in Ascension School, right? So the 5 stages are awakening, cleansing, letting go, reborn, and then Ascension, final stage. So some of these processes can feel like they're taking forever, and they can feel like they're just going for so long, but I just want to let you know that this journey is so different for everyone. Okay, we're all at completely different levels in our life, we're on completely different life paths, and we all have our own very individual awakening. Okay, so let's get started. So before we do get started, actually, I just want to say that it's really important for you to listen to your inner self and your intuition and really just honor your heart space, okay? Allow your gut to guide you. And this is a whole part of the awakening process, really, which is the first stage. And I believe we've all had that awakening, and then the journey goes from there. So when we become awakened, it is a process where we see the divine light and become the light. We glow with inner light, our spirit shines forth and illumines us with the presence of the divine. We are transformed into a new being to allow the ascension process to begin. As we become aware of the spirit within us and allow the annihilation of our physical bodies and negative attributes to be dispersed, we're then able to start the second stage of the process, which is the cleansing. So how was your awakening journey? I mean, I believe we're always awakening because we're not enlightened beings yet. So we're always awakening. What was your awakening experience like? I know for me, I had come to the end of a very chronic drug addiction, and it was within my first year of recovery that it was literally like I saw the light. It's like all these synchronicities started to happen in my life, and I was like, this is too synchronistic to be coincidence. And that's what really opened me up to the fact that, oh, there is a higher purpose, there is a higher beings, there's angels, there's past lives, there's near-death experiences, and it was just boom, I was on this journey. So how was your journey? I love swapping awakening journeys. It's like women swapping their birth experiences. It's all so beautiful, yet so different, yet the same. Okay, so the second phase of this ascension process is the cleansing. Now, this is when the journey really begins, and we have a battle between our physical and our spiritual self. So you may know how this feels. This is the push-pull feeling, a battle between still wanting to hold on to our physical attributes, maybe people, greed, all that physical stuff that our ego mind thinks we want and need in this life. So, and we're really wanting to let go of them too, and it can be really hard and quite a confusing process, this one. So, because at the same time, you really want to start living this way, yeah? Oh, okay, so can be a hard time, yes, absolutely, because we've been used to living one way, but now our eyes are opening and we're being called into this new way of being. and doing. And this can be hard because the world demands us to live in a purely physical existence. You know, where society, this can be very hard with the society that we live in today and with the expectations and limitations we have as a society. And it's really breaking through those barriers, knowing that you are here for your own purpose and that you don't have to do things anyone else's way. You can do it your way because this is your life and you came here for a reason. Okay, so really connecting in with our spiritual self throughout this process. You may have started meditating throughout this process. I know that was a big one for me. And maybe some other forms of spiritual practice that you may have started. I know for me, I started divination. My psychic abilities started opening, and I believe this is so that we can be of better service to everyone else. Okay. So, okay, when we have purified our lower emotions and mental natures to the point where all those negative attributes of anger, failure to forgive, jealousy, revenge, or any other negative emotions, feelings, and thoughts stop polluting our auric field, and our thoughts are purified of that greed and that grasping for affection and wanting and needing, you know, things really start to happen here. So this is when we really look at what our ego wants and what our true soul self wants, yeah? And this is how we really move forward on that path of ascension into a higher consciousness and embodying that divine power. Oops. So let me know how, and this cleansing can take a while. Like, I know it can take a while, and we can really beat ourselves up when we're thinking, oh, I was doing so good, and then I got really angry at what's his face, or then I really didn't want to forgive that person that did this thing to me, or, you know, this is a process, and you are cleansing and you're releasing, and that moves into our third phase, which is letting go. And this is such a beautiful energy, letting go. This process is the dying of our old self, of that ego self. Literally, the old us in this 3D realm with all these egotistical wants and needs, it gets stripped away. Yeah? And many people talk about everything in their personal and professional life is literally taken away, sometimes without them even doing anything about this. Okay, it just happens because it was meant to happen. Other times this is done by self, as you or others may realize how unhappy you were and feel that you have this huge need inside to change your life, sometimes in drastic ways. And that's what I did. I went from being a chronic drug addict to a spiritual awakening coach, to a meditation teacher, to being able to channel ETs and angels and other beings. Okay, now that's a big change. It's a drastic change, and I believe that this has happened for you. What has happened for you to facilitate this drastic change? I love to know what happened to you. Now, I just want to what's the word? Can't think of it. But I just also do want you to know that if you feel like you're in this phase and nothing drastic's going on, that is completely normal too. That is totally okay. We all experience these phases, these different processes in such unique ways, okay? So this is about as simple as I can put these processes to you, okay? Okay, so this is really when we go within, look at ourselves, we heal, we let go. You may be looking at subconscious blocks and really just knowing that we don't need these anymore. They don't serve us anymore. Those old paradigms can go away now, yeah? It's like a true detoxing, letting go. Okay, so okay, so that then leads us to the fourth process, which is being reborn. Now, we become reborn and eternal spirits of light when we finally let go of our negative physical attributes and replace them with positive ones. And like I said, this can take time and repetition and getting used to it and embodying these new different processes and attributes, okay? Because you're becoming a completely new being, right? So as our bodies become lighter, because we're becoming lighter beings of light, it allows us to be reborn as a new being of divine's love and light, and to move into the new world, which is this fifth dimension. You might have heard this new world called the new world, called the fifth dimension, or called the golden age. Yeah, you'll hear it called different things, but they all mean the same thing, which is coming into this new realm of existence for all of us. So through our ascension process and the raising of our energy frequencies, it is in turn helping to raise the energies of the world too. I'm so big on sharing that message. Literally everything in the world, in the universe, and all the other universes are evolving, changing and transforming into new frequencies of love and light. So beautiful. Everything and everyone has a chance to be reborn and shift into the next dimension where we can all resonate in oneness within a structure of peace, love, and joy for all within the new heaven on earth. How gorgeous is that? And this isn't just talking about our planet and our people. This is talking about planets, plural, and beings, other beings. We're going to be able to coexist in harmony together. Oh, so cool. So the divine, immortal part of us, our soul and spirit, is the part in which we can be reborn, and through our soul and spirit we can ascend into the new world, the heaven on earth, and become spiritual, immortal beings through the cleansing and purification of our mind, body, and soul. It is an eternal union of our physical and spiritual bodies to become blessed by the divine, where balance is restored and peace within is found. Then we are ready, finally, for the part of ascension called Ascension. Yay. So there's a lot of prophets and visionaries and seers that have said when the ascension times will come, but basically we're in it now, okay? And I love Diane Cooper's books, which talk about the ascension and the golden age, and she says that by 2032, that's when we're going to be living in the golden age. So between now, 2020, and the next 12 years, we're going to see so much changes. We're going to see big changes. We're going to see a lot of people dying. And that's those who aren't ready for this process, not in this lifetime anyway, okay? We see a lot of people changing their ways. A lot of people will move, and that's already starting. A lot of people moving from where they are to where their soul wants them to be, for their highest good in this life, in this ascension process, moving into this beautiful golden age. And I'll talk more about that after this last process. I'll just talk about the process of ascension. So when the body is purified and all the negative physical attributes are replaced by positive ones, and when the body is replaced by light energies and all dense forms of the physical body are released, we become blessed by the divine and awaken to the divine within us as we understand our real identity of who we really are, a divine spirit of light and love. Only those that are worthy, it is said, and have lived a good life and lived and worked in the divine's light will shift into the fifth dimension. So that's what I was saying. And I don't agree with the word worthy at all. It's more only those who are ready and who came here to facilitate in this process of ascension. For those that aren't ready, or it's not in their purpose to wake up in this lifetime, like I said, they will probably exit the planet. Okay? So there are chances for others that have led a less than perfect life, and what's perfect to be allowed ascension into the new world too. So this is talking about being judged and things like that, and I actually don't agree with this at all. It's my understanding that those who were born here for the purpose of ascension, which I believe all of us are, there are some that aren't, obviously, they're going to exit. They're going to go back to where they came from, and they may come back in the next lifetime a lot more spiritually evolved and ready for this process, okay? So it's not about being judged, and it's not about being worthy at all in my belief. Not at all. Those who are ready will awaken, and those who are ready will ascend, and those who don't will simply return to their natural state of being, their soul light, okay? So, okay, now I want to talk about what's going to happen. In this new age, in this new realm of ascension, our 3D, new 3D Earth, it is said that there may be some big stuff happen on our Earth. Now, from all the research I've done over the last few years, all the books I've read, and everyone that I have listened to, they've all come with a similar story, and that is that there's going to be some big natural disasters which are already happening, but I think there's going to be something on an even larger scale, and this is why we need healers, okay? Because all our traditional ways of living and all our traditional ways in society that we see today, especially in the Western world, the banks, the governments, it's all going to fall away. All this control and manipulation is going to fall away. You may have heard of the cabal, and you know, all these billionaires and big name people who are trying to run the show for profit and control and manipulation. They're being found out, they're being jailed, and there's there's whistleblowers that are shining the light on to what's really going on. So we're going to start seeing more of this. We're going to see a big economic drop in the world. So my suggestion to you is to start your fruit and veggie gardens now. One thing I'm going to try and do is to try and eat more clean and fresh food, so that when this happens, it's not going to be a big change. Like, oh my God, you know, there's no money, there's no food, because I do believe money is not going to be an important exchange for people. It will be probably food, water. It is said that the ETs will give us the power, the knowledge to be able to create our own rain, free energy. And if we are all living off the earth in beautiful communities, what are we going to need really? So this is what it is said to be like in the future, because, and that makes sense, because if we're shedding away all that old egotistical stuff, if we're truly living from our hearts and from our souls, then is what's actually going to matter in these times? And that's a question you might want to ask yourself. What is actually going to matter? Big stuff, cool stuff. My favourite thing in the world is talking about Ascension. So if you have any questions about this, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to help. You might have something you want to add to this for the others in the group. Now, how can we assist this process along for ourselves and others? Well, when we heal ourselves, we heal the world, we heal the planet, we heal every living being on the planet, and then some, you know, the multiverse. So by taking some time to embody light, let that light flow through you, and we'll do this now together, okay? So just closing your eyes. And taking some really nice, long, deep, intentional breaths.
My dream
And
is to
just
help
keep
people
doing
understand
that.
how the universe operates.
And now with your next breath in, beautiful divine light from Creator, from the center of our galaxy, flows down. And your crown chakra opens to receive this white light, this beautiful crystalline Christ light, flowing down your face, flowing down the rest of your body, connecting with your chakras, clearing and opening your chakras as it flows throughout your entire being, lighting up every cell in your body. Just really drinking up, soaking in this light. So now I'd love it if you could push this light down through your feet, down into the earth, down into the layers of Mother Earth, until you reach her heart center, her crystalline core. You are now connected with a divine white light from Source Creator down to the heart of Mother Earth, surrounded by a pillar of light. And every time you breathe in, you pull up this light from Mother Earth, and you breathe out and push it out through your crown chakra back up to the divine. Then you breathe it in, back from the divine, and exhaling it down into Mother Earth. Inhaling Mother Earth's energies, and exhaling her energies back up to the divine. Inhaling the divine energies, back out, sending them to the core of Mother Earth, surrounded in the most powerful, beautiful, healing pillar of light. This is a really easy activation that you can do at any time with the power of your intentions. Allowing both of these beautiful, primordial and cosmic energies to meet within your body, connect with each other, which is a pivotal part of the Ascension process at this time. This can feel just so beautiful sometimes that you don't want to stop, and if that's how it feels for you, you can feel free to sit there and just sit in these energies, allowing them to do what they need to do in your body, allowing more and more light frequency to enter your body. So I'm going to leave you with that, and I will see you again very soon. Many blessings. Namaste.